Hello, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1989 Washington Quarter. We'll explore its history, design, mintage, and what makes certain quarters exceptionally valuable. Could one of these coins in your pocket be worth a fortune? Let's find out. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin features a profile of Washington on the obverse and a heraldic eagle on the reverse. This design remained largely unchanged until the state quarters program began in 1999. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 512,868,000 Washington quarters. These coins are composed of a clad mixture, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. For most 1989 Washington quarters found in circulation, their value is typically their face value, 25 cents. Even in uncirculated mint state (MS) conditions, these coins generally range from $1 to $14. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are scarce and can command higher prices. For instance, some uncirculated coins have been valued between $6 and $1,955, depending on their condition. Although not intended for circulation, proof coins from 1989, especially those with deep cameo, DCM, contrast, can be more valuable. These coins were minted in San Francisco and bear the S mint mark. While the 1989 Washington Quarter is a significant piece of numismatic history, there is no record of any 1989 quarter fetching $1 million at auction. The most valuable Washington quarters are typically from the early years of the series or possess unique errors or varieties. W minted in Denver with a mintage of 436,800. This coin is highly sought after. In MS-66 grade, it has fetched up to $143,750 at auction. As.com with a mintage of 408,000 from the San Francisco Mint, this coin in MS-66 grade has been valued at $29,900. This variety, featuring a noticeable doubling on the obverse, has reached prices up to $28,200 in MS-65 grade. Minting errors can significantly increase a coin's value. 1983 Washington Quarter with off-center error. A 1983 quarter with a striking error, causing the design to be off-center and obscuring the mint mark, sold for $300. Grading plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. The Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70, assesses a coin's condition. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are considered gem quality and are more valuable. If you believe you have a valuable quarter, consider having it professionally graded by a reputable service like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC). A certified grade can authenticate your coin and potentially increase its value. While the 1989 Washington Quarter is a common coin, certain factors, like mint state condition, errors, or unique varieties can enhance its value. However, reaching the $1 million mark is unprecedented for this particular year and mint mark. Collectors should focus on the coin's condition, rarity, and any unique characteristics when determining its worth. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic journey. Remember to check your change. You never know what treasures you might find. We're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of Washington quarter dollar coins, focusing on the elusive 1981 mint mark. We'll explore their history, what makes certain quarters exceptionally valuable, and discuss the intriguing notion of a coin reaching a staggering $1.1 million in today's market. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious, stay tuned as we delve deep into this numismatic adventure. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin has become a staple in American currency, with its obverse featuring the familiar profile of the first U.S. president. Now, let's zoom in on the 1981p Philadelphia Mint, Washington Quarter. In 1981, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 601 million quarters. Given this high mintage, most 1981p quarters are common and hold their face value in circulated condition. However, certain factors can elevate a coin's worth. Coins that have never entered circulation and exhibit no wear are classified as mint state MS. An MS-65 grade indicates a coin with strong luster and minimal contact marks. Such coins can fetch higher prices among collectors. Coins with minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or missing elements, are highly sought after. These anomalies make the coin unique and can significantly increase its value. The notion of a 1981p Washington Quarter reaching a value of $1.1 million is, in reality, implausible. While certain coins have achieved million-dollar price tags, these are typically rare specimens with unique historical significance or extreme rarity. This coin, minted in 1796 with a limited production run, is a prized rarity. A specimen graded MS-64 sold for $1.74 million at auction. An exceedingly rare coin from colonial America, one of only two known to exist, sold for a record-breaking $2.52 million. The SU in these examples underscore that million-dollar coins are typically centuries old, with profound historical significance and extreme scarcity. Coins with low mintage numbers, or those that are hard to find in high grades, are more valuable. The coin's state of preservation is crucial. Coins with higher grades, minimal wear and flawless surfaces command higher prices. Market demand plays a significant role. Coins that are popular among collectors or have a unique story often see increased value. Coins tied to significant historical events or periods tend to be more valuable. While a 1981p quarter isn't among the highest valued coins, some quarters have fetched impressive sums. With a mintage of only 436,800, this coin is highly sought after. In MS-66 grade, it has sold for up to $143,750. A 1983 quarter with a notable minting error, such as an off-center strike, sold for $300. While the idea of a 1981p Washington Quarter being worth $1.1 million is more myth than reality, the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises. Coins with unique errors, low mintage, or historical significance can indeed reach astounding values. If you're interested in coin collecting, focus on learning about different mint marks, errors, and the historical context of coins. Who knows? You might just stumble upon a hidden treasure in your pocket change. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic journey. If you enjoyed this exploration into the world of Washington Quarters, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting insights. We're talking about one of the most unbelievable finds in modern coin collecting, the 1994p Washington Quarter that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.20 million. That's right, a simple quarter that you might have in your pocket or an old jar could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a 1994 quarter be worth that much? Well, stick around because we're going to break it all down. I'll show you exactly what to look for, what makes it so valuable, and how to find one. Plus, I'll share some real-life stories of people who struck it rich with rare coins, just like this. So grab your coins, maybe even a magnifying glass, and let's dive into the world of hidden treasures. Let's start with the basics. The 1994p Washington Quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and millions were produced that year. But out of those millions, there are a few ultra-rare error coins that have sent shockwaves through the collecting world. So what's the deal? Why is this specific quarter worth $1.2 million? The answer lies in a rare and unbelievable minting error that makes it one of the most valuable modern quarters ever found. Here's what happened. During the minting process, a very small number of 1994p quarters were struck on a foreign planchet, a planchet that wasn't meant for U.S. quarters. A completely different metal composition, a weight that doesn't match regular quarters, a unique sound when dropped compared to normal quarters, a slightly off-center design, making it visibly different. These kinds of errors are rare, so rare that only a handful have ever been confirmed. And when collectors get their hands on something this unique, the price goes through the roof. Let me tell you a quick story. A man in his 60s, an average guy who had been collecting coins as a hobby for years, found one of these 1994p error quarters in his change. He almost didn't check it, but something about the way it looked felt off. He sent it to be authenticated, and guess what? It turned out to be one of the rarest error quarters ever recorded. He sold it at auction for over $1 million. One little quarter, life-changing money. And guess what? There could be more out there, waiting to be found. Alright, so now that we know why it's valuable, how do you check if you have one? It should have a P mint mark right next to Washington's ponytail. A normal Washington quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is noticeably different, it could be an error. Look at the color and metal. If the coin doesn't have the typical copper-nickel color or looks unusual, that's a sign. Drop test. If it sounds different when dropped on a table compared to a regular quarter, that's another clue. If you suspect you have a rare one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for verification. Now, even if you don't find the $1.2 million error quarter, don't worry. There are still other 1994p quarters that can bring in big money. If the lettering or details look doubled, these can be worth $1,000 to $5,000. Off-center strikes. If the coin design is pushed to one side, these errors can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If your quarter is in perfect condition, graded MS68 or higher, it could sell for several $1,000s. You don't need to be a millionaire to start coin hunting. Some of the best ways to find valuable quarters include: you never know what's hiding in your daily transactions. Looking through old jars or collections. A lot of people have jars of coins just sitting around. Banks still hand out rolls of quarters, and you can search through them for errors. Estate sales and flea markets. Some people unknowingly sell rare coins for face value. A simple 1994p Washington quarter could be worth $1.20 million, and there could be more out there waiting to be found. Coins like this prove that hidden treasures are still out there. You just have to know where to look. So, do me a favor. Check your coins, check your change, and let me know in the comments if you find anything interesting. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode of Rare Coin Discoveries. You're digging through your old change jar, maybe a dusty box of coins your grandfather left behind, and suddenly, you spot a 1967 Washington quarter. No mint mark. Looks pretty normal, right? But what if I told you that little piece of pocket change could be worth up to $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1967 Washington quarter. What makes it so special? How do you know if you have the rare one? And what are collectors paying for these coins right now? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and you might just be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. So grab your magnifying glass, dust off those old coin rolls, and let's find out if you've got a jackpot coin hiding in plain sight. Alright, before we get into the big money, let's talk history. The The 1967 Washington quarter was struck during a time of major change in U.S. coinage. In the mid-1960s, there was a national coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins like crazy because the U.S. had just switched from 90% silver to a copper-nickel blend in 1965. To stop collectors from snatching up all the coins, the U.S. Mint made a drastic move. From 1965 to 1967, no coins bore a mint mark. That means every quarter from 1967, whether it was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, looks the same at first glance. But, and this is a big but, not all 1967 quarters are created equal. Now, let's get to the good stuff. The reason a 1967 quarter can sell for an eye-popping $1.3 million is because of its unique errors and ultra-rare high-grade specimens. SMS stands for Special Mint Set, a limited edition set the Mint produced between 1965 and 1967. These coins were struck with sharper details and a satin-like finish. Some 1967 SMS quarters have an extraordinary deep cameo contrast, meaning the background is mirror-like while Washington's portrait is frosted. If you find a flawless one graded MS68 or higher, that's where we're talking big money. If your 1967 quarter has an off-center strike of 50% or more, it could be worth thousands. Double Diaverse, DDO, Look at, Liberty, or In God We Trust. If the letters appear doubled, you've got a rare error coin that collectors love. Full brockage or clipped planchet. If your quarter has a mirrored design on both sides or a chunk missing from the edge, it could be a rare find. What are these coins selling for today? Let's talk real numbers. What are collectors actually paying for these rare 1967 quarters? Worth about 25 to 50 cents. So don't get too excited if you just have an old, worn one. Uncirculated, MS65 plus, non-SMS coins. These can go for $50 to $500, depending on condition. These start fetching $5,000 to $20,000. Deep cameo SMS coins, MS68 plus, now we're getting into six figures. These have sold for $150,000 to $250,000 at auction. Ultra-rare error coins or top-graded examples. A perfect condition, ultra-rare SMS deep cameo quarter graded MS69 recently hit $1.3 million at auction. That's right, one of these little 25-cent pieces, in the perfect condition, is now $1 million coin. How to check if you have a rare 1967 quarter? Alright, now you're probably wondering, how do I check my quarters? Use a magnifying glass or loupe. Look for doubling in letters or any unusual mint errors. A deep cameo finish means Washington's portrait is frosty while the background is mirror-like. Look for off-center strikes. If the design isn't perfectly centered, it might be valuable. If the edge is completely silver with no copper showing, you might have a rare wrong planchet error. A standard quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly heavier or lighter, you might have a rare error coin. If you think you have a special one, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to get a professional opinion. So, what did we learn today? That little 1967 quarter in your collection could be worth a fortune. While most are just pocket change, some are incredibly rare and can sell for hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million. Now, here's what I want you to do. Go check your old coin jars, ask your parents or grandparents if they've got old change lying around, and start searching. If you find anything that looks promising, drop a comment below or let me know what you've found. And if you enjoyed this video and want more coin collecting tips, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another valuable coin update. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Who knows? You might just have $1 million quarter sitting in your pocket right now. We're diving into one of the most shocking and exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting. The 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter that's worth an unbelievable $1.5 million. That's right, a single quarter, something you might have in your pocket right now, could change your life forever. How can a 1965 quarter be worth that much? Most people assume quarters from 1965 are just regular pocket change, but hidden among them are a few ultra-rare errors that collectors will pay a fortune to get their hands on. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's break down exactly what makes this quarter so valuable, how you can identify one, and why the market is going absolutely crazy over it. Before we talk about value, we need to go back to 1965, a year of major changes in American coinage. Back then, silver prices were skyrocketing, and people were hoarding silver coins. The U.S. Mint had a serious problem. There simply wasn't enough silver left to keep making dimes, quarters, and half dollars. So, in 1965, the Mint made a bold decision. They removed silver from quarters and dimes completely and switched to a copper-nickel composition. This was the beginning of the modern clad coinage era. But with any transition, mistakes happen, and some of these mistakes have made a few lucky coins worth a fortune today. Now, here's where things get really interesting. In 1965, the Mint stopped producing 90% silver quarters, but a small number of them were still accidentally struck on silver planchets, the same blanks used for 1964 quarters. This was a huge mistake. These silver quarters were not supposed to exist in 1965, yet some made it into circulation. These error quarters are what collectors go absolutely nuts for today. The 1965 quarter does not have a mint mark. That means it could have been made in Philadelphia, and that's why so many people overlook it. They just assume it's a regular clad quarter. One of these rare silver 1965 quarters was recently graded and sold for an astonishing $1.5 million. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare quarters? Here's what to look for. It must be 1965 with no mint mark. A regular clad 1965 quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but a silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. If your 1965 quarter is heavier than usual, you might have the jackpot. Regular 1965 quarters have a copper-colored edge, while silver quarters have a solid silver edge with no visible copper. Drop it on a hard surface. Silver quarters have a distinct high-pitched ringing sound, while clad quarters have a duller sound. If your quarter matches these signs, it's time to get it authenticated immediately. Other valuable 1965 quarter errors now. While the silver planchet error is the holy grail, there are other 1965 quarters that can bring in serious money too. Some 1965 quarters have doubling on the letters or numbers. Depending on the severity, these can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars. If your 1965 quarter has part of the design missing or shifted, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to $1,000 depending on how dramatic the error is. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on dime planchets or even foreign coin planchets, making them highly collectible. Even if you don't have the $1.5 million quarter, checking your coins could still lead to some valuable finds. Why are these coins suddenly worth so much? Well, coin collecting is booming, especially among serious investors. With the economy shifting and more people looking for alternative investments, rare coins are in high demand. Also, as more collectors and dealers search for these rare 1965 quarters, the competition is driving prices higher. That's why one of these quarters, in top condition, sold for an incredible $1.50 million. There could still be more out there. Some of these silver 1965 quarters are still hidden in collections, jars, or even in circulation. The story of the 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter that's worth $1.5 million. Do you have one? If you do, you could be sitting on life-changing money. Take some time to check your old change, coin rolls and collections, you never know what you might find. And if you think you have a rare one, make sure to get it weighed, check the edge, and have it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your collection? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on valuable coins. I've got plenty more exciting coin discoveries coming your way. We've got an absolute bombshell for you. An 1817 to 1825 no-mint marked James Monroe $1 coin that is sold for a staggering $1.60 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that you or your grandpa might have tucked away in an old drawer could be worth more than a luxury house. So what makes this coin so valuable? How do you know if you have one? And what should you do if you find one? Stick around because we're going to break it all down. History, rarity, value, and how you can cash in on one of the most incredible coin finds of our time. Before we jump in, hit that like button, subscribe if you love learning about valuable coins, and let's get started. Alright, let's set the stage. We're talking about a coin from the early 1800s, a time when James Monroe was president, and the U.S. was still figuring out its currency system. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, there wasn't a $1 coin with Monroe's face back then. And you'd be absolutely right. See, this coin is a mystery, and that's part of what makes it so valuable. It's an oddball, a rare mistake, and coin collectors go crazy for these kinds of things. What is the 1817 to 1825 no-mint marked James Monroe $1 coin? Now, here's where it gets interesting. There was no official James Monroe $1 coin struck between 1817 and 1825. However, a small number of these coins somehow exist, and they have baffled collectors and historians for years. Most theories suggest these were experimental patterns, coins that were never meant for circulation but were struck as test pieces. Others believe they may have been created unofficially at the U.S. Mint by workers who had access to coin dies. These coins don't have a mint mark. That means we can't even pinpoint exactly where they were made, which only adds to their mystery and value. Here's the thing, only a handful of these coins are known to exist. Some experts believe fewer than 5 genuine examples have survived, which makes them one of the rarest U.S. coins ever. And as we all know, rarity equals big money in the coin collecting world. Now, let's talk about the jaw-dropping price tag. The most recent sale of this coin happened at a high-profile auction, where a verified, top-condition example of the 1817 to 1825 James Monroe no-mint marked dollar sold for a mind-blowing $1.6 million. What makes this coin worth more than most people's houses? We're talking about a coin that shouldn't even exist. The fewer there are, the higher the demand. Coins from the early 1800s are always highly sought after, and this one is wrapped in mystery. The one that sold for $1.6 million was in almost perfect condition, graded as MS67 by professional grading services. That's museum quality, folks. High-end collectors and investors are always looking for the next big thing, and when something this rare comes along, they'll pay anything to own it. Alright, now for the fun part. What if you've got a strange, old dollar coin sitting in your collection? How do you know if it's one of these million-dollar treasures? The coin should show a date between 1817 and 1825. If you see a James Monroe design with a different date, it's not the same coin. These coins do not have a mint mark. If you see a tiny letter near the date, it's likely a different issue. The design should match early U.S. pattern coins, meaning it won't look like a modern presidential dollar. These coins should be made of silver, so if your coin is magnetic or too light, it's likely a replica. If you think you have one, the best way to know for sure is to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and tell you exactly what you have. What should you do if you find one. So let's say you hit the jackpot and you think you've got one of these ultra-rare James Monroe dollars. What's next? I can't stress this enough. Never, ever clean an old coin. Cleaning can destroy its value and cost you thousands, if not millions. Reach out to a reputable coin grading service as soon as possible. They'll confirm if it's real. If it's legit, major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can help you sell it for top dollar. Store it in a protective case and keep it away from moisture, heat, and direct handling. This, my friends, is why coin collecting is one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. Imagine finding an old coin and realizing it's worth a life-changing amount of money. The 1817 to 1825 no-mint marked James Monroe $1 coin is one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever, and if you're lucky enough to come across one, you could be looking at $1 million payday. So, check your collections, dig through those old coin jars, and who knows? You might just have a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and let me know in the comments what rare coins you've come across.